I just got done listening to Ilhan Omar talk about how horrible and terrible and dirty and everything else that this country is. Denigrating this country, denigrating half of the people in it. This country has been very kind, benevolent, and gracious to her and countless others. We gave her asylum. We gave her a place to live. We gave her an education. We gave her a pathway to become a sitting United States congressman. But to me, it goes deeper than that. See, I'm an Iraq and Afghanistan veteran. I was 22 years old when those planes flew into those buildings, and me and thousands of other young men across this country answered the call to go over there and combat this evil that was on our shores, that had finally hit us. And what we were told over and over again is that we go over there and we fight them over there, we will not have to fight them here. And now here we are. We're retired. We're out. We're ready to start pursuing a life of our own. And what does this country do to that enemy that we went over there and we fought to keep over there because that's what we were told? We kissed our families goodbye. I watched my wife cry while I got on that bus to go to the airport or go to the airfield. I watched my son cry because he didn't know if or when he was going to see me again. And then I come home. I've been retired for 8 years. And I come home and what are we seeing? We're seeing entire communities being taken over by the very people that we fought to keep off of our shores. Dearborn Mission is completely freaking taken over. Now we have mosques in Minnesota, Texas, Missouri, all over the country, promoting Sharia law. Do we really have to tell people that Sharia law is incompatible with the United States Constitution? We were told that if we fought them over there, we would not have to fight them here. But what do we have? What did you do? You elected it mayor of New York. You gave it Senate seats in Minnesota. Now I want you to turn around. I want you to find an Iraq and Afghanistan veteran somewhere around you, and I want you to look them in the eye and tell them why they should not feel betrayed. Do it. I dare you.
This brother, I can't even refute anything that he said. Thanks to him and people, like him that served. I was actually in during that time. I was actually in the military when those two planes hit. And it is somewhat of a slap in the face, when you see and you hear everything that has happened and transpired over the better part of 4 years or so. They've allowed, full terror cells over here in our nation. Word on the street is that they've allowed about 1 million of these people to come set up shop right here in our country. People are thinking that the enemy is on the outside, but the enemy is within. And they still want people to have their heads in the sand. And mainstream media still decides not to cover the fraud and the waste and all of these, other shenanigans that are going on in our nation. They refuse to cover it. And you have to ask yourself why.
Let me give you a few reasons as to why it's an absolute hellhole. The average IQ, in the States, we do pretty well. We're not as high as some nations like Japan, right? But it's about 97.4 right there in the center of the bell curve. Somalia, the average IQ is 67.
Ooh.
70 is retarded.
Sorry, retarded.
70 or less is legally retarded.
Oh, boy.
The average IQ of Somalia is the equivalent to a legal retard in the United States.
You wanted to use functionally, but you pulled back.
It's not even really functional. It's just the legal threshold. And by the way, some of that is because of malnourishment. That's a huge component of it. Also inbreeding. We'll get to that. But life expectancy in Somalia is 54 years. 54 years. And the country has been at war for 4 decades. 4 decades.
Gosh.
I mean, compare that to the 12-day war. That's a long war, and it's just always a stalemate because everyone has an IQ of 67 or less. Sorry, I should say the average.
Average, it's true.
And then you end up with huge swaths of these people in a place like Minneapolis, St. Paul.
How? I want to know why they went from hot to very cold.
Yeah. Well, it's by design. Another thing, too, by the way.
The worst place to choose, really.
Also, when they come here, please check their bags because 3 of the deadliest snakes in the world, they're also found in Somalia. So the puff adder, the Somali carpet viper, and the black mamba, those are in Somalia. And they're no joke.
I've seen snakes on a plane. I know this.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, just so you, how is their IQ so? Well, malnourishment, of course. But half of Somalis show genetic signs of inbreeding.
Oh, no.
If you actually look at this, there's a lot of inbreeding. By the way, this is very common across Islamic nations across the world, and that also contributes significantly to lower IQ.
It does.
And when you have an IQ rate that is that low, that is functionally retarded, you don't need to have a nation filled with geniuses, but you need to have a baseline level of average IQ that allows for innovation, that allows for basic functions of society to be performed. That can't happen with an IQ of 67. It can't happen when they are inbreeding with no signs of stopping. And again, please don't forget, Ilhan Omar is no stranger to this. She married her brother. Yeah, you have the marriage certificate. And you think about this.
It's
we have
so damning.
These Somalis here, and people get, I can't believe you would say this. They're just as American as you. No, they're not.
No.
They're not. Well, why do you say they're not as American as you? Well, my parents were born here. My dad's parents were born here. His parents were born here. We've been here for a long time. We speak the language. We contribute.
You adopted the culture.
Yeah, we don't bang our cousins.
You don't.
We
Or
don't.
brothers.
That's part of our culture here. We treat our animals well.
Steven Crowder just going in and going off. But with all this information that has come out, why do you think that these people are so arrogant? Is it that they feel like they've been getting over for so long that, they can walk around with this bravado? I mean, you guys have taken the time. I'm sure you guys have seen some of the videos from Ilhan Omar. Her bravado, her brashness, her lack of filter. Although at this point, she's married to a white man, but she talks really bad about white people. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy the bravado that these people walk around with when their country and where they come from has so many issues. So many issues.
So in Somalia, they have a record amount of drug use. They have a record amount of violence. They have a record amount of fraud. And that fraud stems from internet fraud to telephone fraud to groups of individuals working to defraud people and take their money. And so that's what takes place in Somalia. Now, the interesting thing is that these Somalians that fled from Somalia come to America. And the question is are they changing? Are they adapting to our culture? Are they doing something different? And sadly, the problem is no. They're doing exactly what they did in Somalia here in America. They are defrauding out of American taxpayers. They are stealing our money, and they are taking it in the guise of saying that if you call them out for it, you are racist. And I think that this is something that seriously needs to be addressed, because you are not racist for trying to protect your assets. You're not racist for trying to protect your taxes. You are not racist for saying, hey, look, I let you in my home and now you're stealing my stuff. This is wrong. And it's not racist to say, hey, look, go back to your country or assimilate to our culture so that we can continue being the same country that we've always been, which is a country of freedom, which is a country of rights, which is a country that has a constitution and people have to follow that. There's nothing racist about that. And so when you hear people like Ilhan Omar go out there and say, well, Trump is racist because he called my country a dump. Your country is a dump. Why did you leave your country? If it was safe and if it was, a haven, or what if it was beautiful, if it was a glorious country, if it was doing great economically, if it was doing great for your people, why did you leave your shithole country? Exactly. Because it's a shithole country, and then you brought your work ethic and your morals and your virtuous ideology to our country and tried to rob us. It's not racist to speak out against this shit, people. You need to speak out against it, as a matter of fact. If more people need to rise up and say, no, I'm not letting you invade my home and I'm not letting you steal my money.
And this brother is absolutely correct. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. That's what the Democrats do. They do a bunch of shenanigans, man. Pull a bunch of shenanigans. And then if you call them out on it, you're racist, you're bigot, you're homophobe, you're this type of phobe, that phobe, if you call them out on their foolishness. And we got to stop falling for it, man. We have to stop bowing down because they've decided that they're going to put these people in a box and they can do no wrong because they're in a box. And if you say anything about them, you're immediately racist, or, you are, afraid of the alphabet community, so forth and so on. We got to stop it, man. Seriously. When you see wrong, we got to call it out, and we have to have the courage to call it out and not worry about those people out there trying to call you a name for calling out the foolishness. Okay? Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. And as always, keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp.